the opportunity to rant and banter on radio. And it comes to you every Friday from 7 to 7:45 p.m. on your shiny supreme radio station, Diamond Sport Front Zone. Quickly, and today, why we said it's a special edition is because the Arsenal fans are now beginning to beg for that Premier League title. They are now begging, please let us win it. And that's what Manchester City will do for you. The fear of Pep Guardiola is the beginning of wisdom. That's the new adage to the Arsenal fans. We get to take a review of what happened last weekend in the Community Shield, where Arsenal were not just beaten to another title, but were taught $1 million lesson to be humble. Don't forget the message from Erling Haaland when they played last season and Arsenal defeated Manchester City by 5-1. He sent that message to Gabriel Magalhaes and the Arsenal defenders. Be humble. And that's what they taught them. Lesson to be humble about. We get to review that game, tell you the message from the Arsenal fans. Why are they begging? Are we ready to listen to their plea right now for that Premier League title? We will not just talk about that. We'll talk about Liverpool and Mohamed Salah. Because Salah right now, I said, he is leaving Liverpool come the end of this season. That's $1 million thing to review on this show this weekend. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, they're not going to the World Cup as it stands now, but they won against a team going to the World Cup by 2-1. Arguably, the best team in Asia were taken to the cleaners by the third best team on the African continent. We review that game and we also talk about one that is really affecting us. Kwara United, are we going to be relegated or we are going to remain in the Nigerian Premier Football League next season? Another $1 million question. Every Kwara right now, fans of the Harmony Boys are praying to God. Those that know how to do the Ya Latif are doing it. And those that know how to say hallelujah 150 times are doing it, all for the sake of Kwara United. But we in the studio, all we know how to do is to review, preview, analyze based on facts, and give you what the analysis and what is going to be the likeliest prediction. We do that again for Kwara United because there's a game coming up this weekend. So that's a lot of what we're going to be discussing on the show today. My brother join me on today's edition of the show. My brothers, I should say, join me. It's always lively to have these two brothers joining me on the show this evening. From Damilola Oyeniyi, our octopus, who is changing name right now because of Arsenal. He predicted Arsenal to win last weekend. I told you, supporting Arsenal, they will humble you at the very crucial and important stage of the season. And one brother that was with me, we saw the game together at Diamond Park on Sunday. It was a day to forget for them. He's also joined me on the show, Musiu Yusuf Sturaro. Together, we'll be reviewing a lot that happened in the world of football. But to the listener out there, you can also be a part of the show. You're calling on the show 0913-655-6864. That's the number to call into the studio. You can also send messages on WhatsApp. We get to review everything on the show. After what you saw over the weekend for the Arsenal fans, are you guys still confident of winning the Premier League title? Because for me, for the Arsenal fans who are closer to me, they're losing confidence. And right now, they are begging. They're begging anybody they can beg, including Pep Guardiola, that please, he said you taught Arteta this job. Why don't you want him to succeed? Guardiola, Jebure, allow our manager to win the Premier League title, even if we will not win everything. Because the talk of quadruple, you've taken it away. Don't take away their joy of the Premier League title. That's a lot of what we are going to be discussing on the show, guys. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of our conversation. But before that, let's give you a bit of roundup in terms of the news of things that happened during the week. We told you about Mohamed Salah. Liverpool have announced that he's free to leave at the end of the season for free, despite the fact that he has a year left on his contract. Also, the Super Eagles of Nigeria defeated Iran by 2-1. Moses Simon and Akko Adams got the goal for Nigeria. Both halves Moses Simon in the first half, Akra Adams in the second half. But Remy also scored through a rebound from for Iran, made it 2-1 for Nigeria. For Okoye, is back in goal for Nigeria, despite the fact that he missed the African Cup of Nations. He's back in goal for Nigeria. Emmanuel Fernandez, Rangers defender, made his debut for the Super Eagles of Nigeria today. And so also as the Trabzonspor defender. He also made his debut for Nigeria. Not good one for them because immediately both of them were introduced. Iran scored against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But we won. That's the good news for us in this aspect of the country. Nigeria will also be playing on Tuesday, and that game is against Jordan. We are expected to win that game again. And when you talk about that man, Eric Chell, his fairy tale run ever since taking over the Super Eagles of Nigeria continued, especially after the AFCON, with that confident victory from today. But let's get into the nitty-gritty of the discussion today. Let's hear from my brothers in the studio. Let's say good evening to them. Damilola, good evening to you. How are you feeling this weekend?
Good evening. We have a lovely weather here.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go.
I love the fact that you attribute it to the weather. Sturaro, good evening to you. Are you also feeling good because of the weather?
Well, a lot of things to feel good about. Good evening, Yemi. Good evening.
I'm sure what happened on Sunday is not part of the things to feel happy about.
Good evening to the listeners. Well, we have seen a lot of things happen since we have been following us now. It is not the first time. Even if we had won, it won't be the first time. So it is just one
it
of
will be the first
things.
time in 30 years, by the way, if you have won.
Of course, someone like me have not seen Arsenal lifted the Carabao Cup, so it is fair that it will be. It is actually not the first time that we have lost a Carabao Cup. I think Chelsea in 2007 Chelsea. I think 2011 Birmingham. So and 2018 Manchester City and 2026 Manchester City. So I think it's one of those.
So it's not failures in Carabao Cup final.
It has always been a failure because, of course, even as important and as integral as a Wenger was at Arsenal, he never won.
Are you also proud saying it has always been a failure of a team that you love so much?
I think
when I say failure, I mean Carabao Cup.
I know.
I think it's just that Arsenal started putting importance on Carabao Cup. Let us just win it. Before, during Wenger time,
the only time I can record Arsenal and success in terms of trophies is the FA Cup in recent years. Every other cup, it has always been a failure. And probably Community Shield.
Wenger doesn't rate Carabao Cup. He even said it
but he rated the Premier League.
I think he got.
Is it right when we said Arsenal have seen a lot
and he won it in grand style?
Is it right? Is Arsenal have seen a lot of failures in major trophies, especially in recent years, in the past 20 years? And begs the $1 million question: how do Arsenal fans cope watching every season 9 months without no tangible success at the end of the season? That's where I even want to start from. I want to hear testimony from the Arsenal fans. How do they cope? Because my brother was with me.
I don't know what you want to get from this. I don't know.
Well, it is factual.
My brother was with me on Sunday. We were supposed to give out jerseys at the end of that game. But immediately Arsenal won, the Arsenal fans who were vocal in that game, most of them could not wait. Immediately they stood up and they left. And I saw the pain in their eyes. So as a journalist, I want to know how they feel on a time when their mental state is good and is calm. So I want to start from you guys in the studio. How do you feel, especially you, Damila, knowing fully well that majority of your time of supporting Arsenal, you've witnessed failures than wins. How does that feel to you?
I don't even know. Well, let me.
Okay, you can help him out. Because you have seen a bit of success.
Well, I think I do not understand why you want to make it about him, but of course, as
I'm about the Arsenal fans.
I think every Arsenal fan has actually witnessed failure more than success since we have been following Arsenal.
No, I think in the last
30 years. We have seen failure more than we have seen success the last 30 years.
And what is factual with the last 20 years? Because
even
I do not think Arsenal are this bad before 2004. No. Arsenal are a team that competes and wins.
I'm just saying, people who have seen Arsenal, let's say, since 1996 till now, will tell you that they have seen Arsenal in failure. They have seen Arsenal failed more than how much they have acquired success. Because, of course, even since 1996 till this moment, Arsenal have just won about 3 EPL. In that period, I think they won less than 10 FA Cup trophies. Just one Carabao Cup in those years. So if you want to measure
when you count all these things like 14 trophies, and we are counting 30 years, I do not count that as too much failure for anybody that have witnessed the first 10 years of those 20 years. Because majority of those trophies came in that first 10 years. And let's be realistic, you are not the only one.
You can excuse the first 10 years, the first decade from 1996. I mean, from 1996 to
2004,
even to 2006, the team was not failing. But from 2006 till now, to an extent, to a greater extent, Arsenal have been.
That's why I'm asking the question.
It's a fact
For the Arsenal fans, how do you feel?
You just have to deal with it because, of course, I think football fandom is not
dealing with it every year.
Football fandom is not about you celebrating your success always. It is always about you being able to help your team when they are. I
understand you said she see the only reason why I'm not contesting is because you use the word always. The only reason why I'm contesting is because you use the word always. Let's be realistic. As a fan, bragging right is a lot of things.
Of course.
And one thing that wins you bragging right over other rivals is not just victories, especially at the end of the season, is what you won. And that's why I'm asking the question. Because you've also said it's a fact that Arsenal have failed in the past 20 years most times. So how do you now feel as a Arsenal fan?
Well, like I
know you can deal with it because you've seen a lot of victory. That's why now I'm not focusing on you. That's why I'm focusing on him, who have seen a lot of failures mentally. How do you deal with it when you have arguments?
You want to do that? I think I've seen failures more than I've seen success.
But you've seen a bit of success.
The only success, I mean, when you want to make this thing about the EPL, I think I've only saw Arsenal won it once. And that was the last time.
But you saw FA Cup
2004. Yes, he has witnessed FA Cup.
How many? How many? Probably the one they won when they finished the last 9 years, and the one they won after Ozil and probably
Sanchez
and Arteta.
I started following Arsenal.
So he has seen a whole lot of FA Cups.
And how many?
I've only
within that period.
Within that period, I've only seen 2 trophies more than he has seen.
Let him tell me how he's dealing with it. How are you dealing with it? Especially when you have banters with your friends.
From the beginning, I said, what do you want to gain from all this? let me know your angle.
No, I just want to know. I want to help console you.
Let me get you for mine.
I just want to console you.
I knew it came from me. So
I just want to console you as a brother. I started by calling you my brother. I can't have bad intentions for you, brother.
The truth is, let me tell you something. The truth is, after the end of this season, I'm praying things will change.
For the Arsenal fan, if you have the mind to talk and express yourself, we would love to hear from you. 0913 655 6952. 0913 655 6952. You can call us and share how does it feel to be an Arsenal fan, especially for the last 20 years, that you've seen a lot of failures than victory. You know why? There's a very strong brother of myself, a very diehard Arsenal fan, who I know so well. And we went home together on Sunday. He knows the way to Tanke from Unity here. But guess what? When we got to where there was a junction, he was asking us the road. Where is the road to Tanke? We had to direct him home. And that's what Arsenal can do. I witnessed that firsthand. So let me hear from the Arsenal fans. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from? Jeremiah, are you an Arsenal fan?
I'm not a Arsenal fan. I'm a Chelsea fan.
You're a
I want to sympathize with Arsenal.
Oh, we are sympathize with them.
I really support them to even win that Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
But they form my hand. They form my hand. But it is this Premier League they are hoping for now. Let's even forget about the past 20 years. It's when Arteta take over this job for Arsenal. They have still lost. But going to success like this, see, just to cross road to success like this, Arteta go put them inside it. More than 4 years now where they're doing on it. So if Arsenal cannot win this Premier League, Arteta should pack his own load from even England, not to England again. So That's what I have to say. But I'm sure that Arsenal is winning this Premier League.
Thank you very much, Jeremiah. Thank you very much, Jeremiah. Jeremiah, that's your own way of consoling with them. He's telling their manager to pack his load and you leave. That's good. But let's talk about Mikel Arteta, the man he's talking about. A lot of people have said, if you look at that Carabao Cup final, he almost, since when he has took over Arsenal, almost following the footprint of Mikel Arteta. That's why some people are calling him Mumu, for the fact that why would you be copying Pep Guardiola over these years? If you want to beat him to trophy, you have to change copying him. Do you think that, because some believe that the fact that he started Kepa was the fact that he's copying the footprint of Pep Guardiola, that can change a lot of things? First, do you believe he's copying Guardiola? And two, do you believe he needs to change something from the footprint of from Pep that he's used to?
First of all, let me just talk about him copying Arteta. I think
Guardiola,
rather. So I believe a lot of people are actually looking at him like, are they playing the same way and all? But this season, let me put it to you that you don't see much of Guardiola in him. Talking about the style of play, the way he's playing. But about coming to the Carabao final, I think a lot of coaches will actually do what he did.
But some are looking at him, they're looking at Arteta.
That's because
and the way you need a trophy.
That's because
he should do something different.
That's because
and that's why people will look at a lot of the decisions you make.
Looking at the keeper he used, Kepa, it's not like Kepa is just a small goalkeeper. He made a.
But that mistake he made, do you think Raya would do that?
I don't think he will, because Raya is in goal week in, week out.
Exactly why you should start him, because it's a cup final and you need a trophy.
Kepa is not just a beginner when it comes to this.
Well, we know Kepa for more mistakes in the Premier League than doing a lot of good things.
This season, he has. I don't think I've seen.
If Arsenal get to the FA Cup final, would you start him again, Kepa?
I don't think he will make the same choice. Let me not say mistake. I don't think he will make the same choice, but it depends on the situation then. If Arsenal has all the hands on the Premier League, they are in a critical stage of Champions League, I believe he may opt for Kepa.
I think so many people are not being fair to Mikel Arteta. In the first instance, before now, there is always that talk of Arsenal playing around football, Arsenal playing, employing dark arts and a whole lot of things like that. But now that he lost the final to Pep Guardiola, many are saying he lost because he was copying Pep Guardiola. The same manager that 2 weeks ago they are saying he was playing like a certain Tony Pulis is now the same person. Yes, that is copying Pep Guardiola. That's on the side. Because I believe when it comes to Arsenal, a whole lot of even journalists, relegate sensibilities at times and, focus on always delivering banters. That's on the side. And on the other side, I feel what Mikel Arteta, the only mistake I felt he made on that day was, the starting berth that he gave to Nkapie. And that was the only mistake I felt he made. Because, of course, I feel Manchester City was going to come at us now, gun blazing. So you need everyone that can, play from the back.
Nkapie has been stable defensively.
He has been a very, very fine player, very, very good player, no doubt about it. And I'm not saying this to discredit him. He merited that, starting berth that he got.
Why
that
do you not think
but
it's
I
a
feel
mistake?
On the ball, Calafiori is more secure than him. He's a better player, better passer technically, God bless you, than Nkapie. So aside that, I didn't think he made a mistake by starting Kepa. From the start of this tournament, Kepa has been in goal. He has been the one, doing a whole lot of things to make sure that the team gets to the final. Well, if you look at it, that day
they are criticizing because they come at the stage and how you needed it.
Manchester City started Trafford too because he has been the one playing. You cannot do that for players. Things like that actually affects them mentally.
But they will tell you that Manchester City, the way Pep Guardiola, yes, we might say he needed this trophy this season, but Pep Guardiola could be excused for not winning this trophy because of the successes he had in recent years.
Arsenal didn't lose that match because they started Kepa. I do not agree.
Exactly.
Arsenal lost that match because Manchester City wanted it more, which also pointed to the fact that Arsenal on that day were not prepared enough, and it is actually a blame on Arteta and the guys too, because for that match I felt Arsenal should have been the one that wanted the match the most, but it was Manchester City.
Let's get back to taking a bit of course. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good evening. My name is Obakande calling from
Calling from Arsenal.
Aqua.
Okay. Akko.
Yes.
Are you an Arsenal fan?
Yes, I'm a fan.
Okay, my brother, speak to me. How do you deal with Arsenal failures, especially in the last 20 years?
I'm very fed up about it, but I didn't have a choice.
Oh.
My team, and I always support them when it's bad or it's good.
Oh.
I'm concerning a Carabao Cup final.
Okay.
This is one that wants to win that cup. Because people that start for the match. From second, I know Subimeni is not a part of the game anymore. Leandro Trossard is not part of the game anymore. Should have made a substitution from that second now. This would be better. But you always gamble much. I'm tired of him. After this, is either he win league or not. Back in Lord and leave England.
Thank you very much for your opinion, by the way. You can see that this is an Arsenal fan who is truly pain and tired. Not just pain. Yeah,
frustrated.
His own tiredness, his own pain has got him to being frustrated. There's even a friend of mine, I will mention his name, is Engineer Shegun. Immediately I saw him and Arsenal lost. You need to see his face. You can see pain in his eyes. He needed to find food to console himself on that day. He could not do anything but just leave the gate and start looking for food on the Sunday evening around this area. Something is certain that he might not get, but you have to look for it to get it. That's what Arsenal. He has to look for something. That's what Arsenal we did to you, by the way. So I can understand his pain as an Arsenal fan, by the way. So for Mikel Arteta, do you guys feel if he failed to win anything this season, that he needs to resign himself?
I don't think he will not win anything. I don't think he will not.
Well, let's say if he doesn't win, which I believe, like he said, I do not think he doesn't win. But if he doesn't win, should he be sacked? Should he resign? I think no.
You still think he should remain?
I think he should remain.
For how long? What do you think is the deal breaker for you?
Well, I feel at this particular period of time, it would be if Arteta ends this season without winning anything. I think that would be the ultimate.
That's what I just asked, and you said
that would be the ultimate. But then, for a club on this on the rise in the last 5 years, we know the architect of all of this to be Mikel Arteta. So if you are excusing him or he's excusing himself, you just have to start from somewhere again. Bring in another person. Of course, automatically you need another rebuild. Automatically. So
why do you need another rebuild?
Because
you only need another project that wins.
Anyone that is coming in
must it be a rebuild?
Anyone that is coming in will have his own type of players.
Why?
That's
we've seen top teams in the world. I go back to likes of Barca, Real Madrid, and likes who literally changes coaches every 2 years or 3 years.
And the last time Barcelona was successful doing that, Messi was playing there.
I mean, they've changed coaches again after Xavi.
You cannot compare that success with what Barcelona used to be. You cannot compare it.
I mean, exactly.
So I believe.
What was the last time Barcelona won the Champions League?
I believe
even before Messi,
that was their standard.
They are still winning
but that was their standard.
Let's be realistic. Messi left in 2001, 2021, right, or 2020, 21, I think, 21. After Corona. They've not won the Champions League in 6 years before he left.
And that's why I said the last time they were successful changing coaches was when Messi was there.
The last 6 years they didn't win the Champions League. And I do not think any team.
After Guardiola, who came in? I mean, after Guardiola, Enrique was there and he won.
Exactly.
So that was my point. That the last time they were successful, Messi
are you judging the success of a team based on only Champions League?
No, but that's the standard of Barcelona. You and I know that. If Madrid is not winning Champions League today, if Barcelona is not winning Champions League, they are not. You cannot say they are successful.
We cannot keep hoping something will change if Arteta cannot win the league at this stage of the
it is like we said, I do not think he doesn't win. I'm just saying I think he wins at the end.
If you should bottle stop
the league is done and dusted. The league is done and dusted.
The question is, I also expect Arsenal to win the league. I think it will be the biggest.
It will not be the biggest. Manchester United 2013. It was this stage. Manchester United won. They were 9 points above Manchester City. It will not be the biggest.
For me, for me, that should be in context the biggest than this one because I do not think Arsenal are even 9 points ahead. For me, I think Arsenal are potentially like 3 or 4 points ahead.
How?
Because Manchester City have a game in hand, and you have a game against them at the
Etihad. 9
Etihad.
points ahead. You cannot.
So
you
for
cannot
me, I
excuse
think
that.
I said potentially. But why I think this will be the biggest in history is come at there when Arsenal needed this. Then when it was Manchester United, yes, they needed to win the title, but it was not like the way Arteta and Arsenal needed it at
not
this
desperate.
exactly at this point in time. So that's why I think that even in Arsenal's history, this will be regarded as probably the most painful and the biggest.
You can even see
So that's the question I'm asking. If he did not win it this year, is he a deal breaker for you? And from the way you're talking, Suaro, it feels like it's not a deal breaker for you. You think they should give him more years. So for you, is that a deal breaker?
It is. Because I can even see the way Arsenal are even doing during this international break. Arteta does not want some players to actually leave. Even the players, we can see the way they are.
You think there's a lot of pressure on him right now?
He knows, even if they not tell him, he knows there's pressure on him.
Henry says he needs to pick his priority. Do you also think he needs to pick the league as his priority?
Of course, yes. I think that's the priority for every Arsenal fan, for everyone that is connected to Arsenal.
But I don't think Arteta is taking it as priority. I think Arteta is competing at all trophies.
Of course, you have to do that, but of course, you just have priority. You cannot tell me Arteta would prioritize winning an FA Cup.
I think the reason why it's like that is because of the team depth, the squad depth. Because we can see Nogard has been playing the Carabao FA, but he got to the final, he had to bench him because he wanted to win the.
But he did not bench
No. Nogard didn't play the semi-final. He didn't play.
That's what I'm saying. Like he got to the critical stage
and he didn't bench Kepa.
He felt
he couldn't bench
Kepa. Different.
He couldn't even bench Kepa. Kepa is an experienced goalkeeper.
And Nogard is not experienced.
No,
with that, you cannot compare. You know where Nogard was coming from. Nogard has never witnessed such pressure.
Like I said, all we know about Kepa in the Premier League, we could remember a lot of it.
Kepa was playing for Madrid. He was playing for Chelsea.
At Real Madrid,
yes.
he was signed as a starter. But by the time they will finish the season, where did he ended up?
No. But he was signed as a second goalkeeper.
He was signed as a starter.
No,
Sturaro. He started.
Was Courtois not there?
No,
Courtois was there.
Courtois got injured that
but
season.
He was there.
He got injured end of the season. That was why he was signed.
But Courtois was there.
You
always know that you are coming in to deputize Courtois anytime he's available.
Courtois did not play that season. He was brought in because Courtois had a season-ending injury.
The truth is, even
and Lunin started the season behind him. But by the time they will end the season, Lunin was a first-choice goalkeeper, and he started the Champions League final they won that season. And Kepa was relegated to his second choice, and there's a reason for that. And part of the reason is because of what Arsenal witnessed firsthand in the final of the Carabao Cup. And that's why there's a lot of criticism on Mikel Arteta. But you've made your point. You think it's a deal breaker. You think it's not a deal breaker. If I'm an Arsenal fan, trust me, I will also think it's a deal breaker for me. I mean, I want to try something different.
I don't even raise up my head in public. Because a lot of fans are actually waiting.
And I think that's the problem. That's the problem with Arsenal fans. You always concerned yourself. You always concerned yourself about what fans are saying. Listen. I do not understand. This is it. Arsenal lost the Carabao Cup final on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So I do not understand the reasonability in a Manchester United or Chelsea fans coming to mock Arsenal. You know, I do not understand. Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? So, because you give them all of this. Suraro, let's be realistic. Suraro, let's be realistic. Manchester United won the EPL too. I'm just trying to cover it. Suraro. Yes. 15 years. It's a long time. Very long time.
Suraro, let's be realistic with Arsenal. Let's be realistic with Manchester United. When they had Ruben Amorim and they were losing, they also could not raise their head. Manchester
now that they are winning, where are they? Where is Arsenal?
And you know what? They can raise their head now because
are they above Arsenal? What have they done that is above Arsenal?
They can raise their head right now because based on what they were looking for, where they were in December 2025, they needed consistency and winning consistently, and they are doing that now. And for fans, like I said, from fans, what is your own bragging right? You don't know about the finances. It's not your job.
It's not even about
what is your own bragging right is the success of your club side. Which Arsenal right now, which we both agree that Arsenal right now have not given their club, their fans, in the last few years. But we have a lot to discuss on the show. Let's move on from talking about Arsenal and let's talk about Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney this week says that he does not really view Neymar as one of the top players in the world. But the real Ferdinand disagrees by saying Neymar's prime was even better than Rooney, and he could do things that Ronaldo and Messi could not do in his prime. Do you guys believe that Neymar is better than Rooney in his prime?
That's very, very difficult because, of course, personally, I rate Rooney and Neymar very, very highly. To be sincere, but I feel ability wise, I feel Neymar is above. I mean, it's above Wayne Rooney. But then, if I have to choose a player between both of them, I feel always I'll choose Wayne Rooney.
But you think Neymar is better? That means it's
ability wise. I think it's better. But then, if I have to play a football match, I think I'll go with Rooney.
That's what where I'm going.
I think I'll go with Rooney.
Neymar has the talent. He's a very skillful player. He has the potential. A lot of.
But the talent is always there. He's always there. The talent is always there.
But Rooney, when you see Rooney, you see somebody that wants to win the game for you, want to do everything on the field for you. Like,
do you know why I think we are saying all these things? Probably because Neymar also, in terms of what we expect him to achieve, he didn't achieve it.
That's the point now, that the talent is always there.
Like,
but
this man,
he never really got to
Messi,
you.
Ronaldo,
You see Ronaldo, you see Lionel Messi.
But I also think he's better than Rooney. Like you guys think,
well,
talent-wise.
I think talent-wise.
I think it's way better than Rooney.
Talent-wise, I do not think you have so many players ahead of Neymar. Talent-wise.
Yeah. I think it's Messi and Ronaldo.
Yes, of course.
I think it's Messi and Ronaldo.
Well, maybe until you bring in Zinedine Zidane. Yes.
Let's stick with his prime.
Okay.
Let's stick with his own days. People he plays with. At least let us go to probably do.
Okay.
There's a lot of people back in those days because I think Neymar Ronaldo also share his own talent.
Ronaldinho is there.
Exactly. So let's just stick with his own prime.
He came. Everybody was saying.
Aside those two, I do not think. In their era, I do not think anyone is better than Neymar. I do not think anyone is better than him. Aside those two.
Okay, you share the same sentiment?
I agree with him.
You agree with him. So let's talk about Mohamed Salah. 9 years and he's leaving Liverpool. And there's a lot of people. Jamie Carragher do not think Mohamed Salah is among the 3 greatest Liverpool player. I think he plays him at number 6.
Yes. That's why he's always thinking wrongly.
But
he's always thinking wrongly. You know the funniest thing? He was mentioning player that he didn't see play. He didn't watch them at all. He was mentioning Alan Hansen. He was mentioning Sunes. Players that he never saw. He never saw play at all. He was mentioning them above Mohamed Salah. And if you look at those players, whatever they won, why they were playing, Mohamed Salah did the same. He surpassed the whole lot of them. So I do not understand where all of this hate was coming from. But of course, you just have to excuse him because, of course, he said in that video, he said he had made that ranking before Mohamed Salah announced that he was going to leave. I mean, he was going to leave.
That does not change anything.
But then I know he was always thinking in the wrong direction. So I do not think that's true because, of course, yes.
Do you think
none of us
think Salah is part of the 3 greatest Liverpool players?
It's Liverpool. Yes.
Well, we never saw Kenny Dalglish. Yes, I watched Gerrard, who I believe is the best midfielder I've seen in the Premiership. That's on a personal note. So aside Steven Gerrard, the clips and the information that they gave us about Kenny Dalglish, yes, winning everything with them while he was playing, winning everything with them while he was a coach. I think aside those two, I do not think anyone was better than Mohamed Salah in Liverpool. Carragher was mentioning John Barnes.
What about in the Premier League? You think it's among the 3 greatest Premier League player of all time based on goals scored and titles?
Yes.
That's a deep one.
Yes, I agree.
A deep one for me.
I agree.
Top 3 Premier League. I think if we are going for top 5,
I think top 3
there.
I think top 3.
You think he's better than the likes of Thierry Henry?
No. That's the greatest footballer in the history of EPL.
For you, that's the greatest in the
he's everywhere. Even the Premiership will tell you that. So don't say for me.
Even ahead of Alan Shearer, who has the highest number of goals.
And that's I think the 3 of them are the greatest top 3 footballers in the history of EPL. I think the 3 of them.
Wow.
I will say top 5.
You will not put Salah in the top 3.
Well, even I will argue that Salah should be number 2 on that. I'll argue that.
Ahead of Henry?
What are you saying? That's the greatest CPL footballer now.
Ahead of Shearer, who has more
yes.
goals than he does.
Of course, yes.
Wow.
Of course. Of course.
I believe Salah is a very, very great footballer.
But you think he's in the top 5?
Top 5.
I think he's top 3.
You think he's top 3?
Yeah.
I think we are giving him too much, but
then if you are saying he's top 3, top 5, I think kudos to Mohamed Salah. And what we are saying is we are actually rubbishing whatever Jamie Carragher said, because of course we can. Yes, I might rate Steven Gerrard very, very highly, but I won't be here and tell you that Steven Gerrard is top 3, top 5 in the history of EPL. So that tells you how great Mohamed Salah is. So you cannot even bring in the opinion of Jamie Carragher, who is always known to be pessimistic when it comes to Mohamed Salah.
Let's quickly go on this quick commercial break, guys. We'll come back from the commercial break. We'll go back to taking calls, and we have to talk about Kwara United. Quick commercial break. We will be back.
It's a brand new day, I'm feeling stronger. Fit to do anything, I fit to do my work now. Yesterday was tough, but I don't repair, I don't recover. Yeah, see me as a fresh. Now they ask me how would I fresh. Let me say, I'm not the day. If I capsule, I'm falling free, though.
Repair and recover with Astimine, a blend of amino acids and multivitamins.
Let's go. All right. Ìlọrin Diamond Park wà fún àgbà àtọmọdé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni owó kékeré àlẹ́ máa fi wọlé owó péréte Diamond Park eré wọlé confam ni ká má tọrọ má ṣe ké o Diamond Park rẹwà gbogbo ohun tí mo ń sọ ìmọ̀ ìṣeré bá ní Diamond Park ohun ìṣeré pọ̀ níbẹ̀ ìmọ̀ ìṣètẹnu mélòó la fẹ́ ká. Bí ẹ bá débẹ̀ ẹ máa rí kókù àyà games lóríṣiríṣi ìyẹn náà tún wà òbí àtàlágbà tó o schools náà ò bẹ̀yìn ẹ fáwọn ọmọ yín wá ṣeré ní Diamond Park. Ó ti jẹ́ ká lọ ṣeré ní Diamond Park eré wọlé nílọrin Diamond Park wà fún àgbà ọmọdé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kékeré àlẹ́ máa fi owó kékeré Diamond Park eré wọlé.
Dìde kára ó lè. Dìde kára ó lè. Ó yá lé dànù, orí fífọ́ lé dànù, ara ríro lé dànù, òtútù ibà lé dànù. For fast relief of cold pain, fever and headache. Kára ó lè kó.
Ẹ sọ fún ẹ̀fọ́ ní òtútù ibà tààrà ni o, kí wọ́n kán lùgbọ́ one time. Kára ó lè ti dé o, àtàwọlé ló sẹ́yìn. Wọ́n ń tẹ̀ kan koríko tẹ́lẹ̀ bá ti tẹ̀ òtún gbérí mọ́ ìdè kára ó lè lúbúlúbú funfun pẹ̀lú ìrúkù sarajọ mẹ́ra yágágá àjàká kò tí sọkọ fún ẹ̀fọ́rí òtútù ibà tara nílò lágọ̀ọ́ ara kàṣàkàṣà knockout gbára ju agbára lọ ìdè kára ó lè jagunla bí olùgbòǹgbò gàjàtọ̀ ara jà tó kìtìlẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ìlúrakẹ́ ẹgbà to yield pharmaceutical industries limited àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi kápò oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é bára rẹ ò bá yá lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta wọ́n ṣàpẹẹrẹ òun kàn sí dókítà rẹ.
Welcome back from that commercial break. 0913-655-6952. That's the number to call in the studio. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864. And the questions we are asking in the studio, there's a lot of questions. Number one, we started with the Arsenal fans. How do you feel with watching Arsenal consistently fail? Let's hear your own opinion. Let's sympathize with you. Number two is about Mikel Arteta. Do you think he made a lot of mistake? A big mistake, by the way, starting Kepa in that Carabao Cup final. Number three, what is the deal breaker for you before you can say Arteta should be sacked? Number one, if he fails to win any trophy this season, is that a deal breaker for you to sack Arteta if you are the one taking the decision at Arsenal? Or you think not? Because Ferraro feels it is not a deal breaker for him. He thinks he will still give Arteta another 1 year based on what he has done with that football club since he has taken over. For my brother here, Damilola, Mr. Octopus, think for him that he cannot even talk as an Arsenal fan outside. That's the deal breaker for him. But the Arsenal fans, share your own opinion with me. And let's talk about Mohamed Salah. Do you guys believe that he is one of the top 3 greatest Premier League player of all time? Or you think he's one of the 3 greatest Premier League player of all time for Liverpool? Which one of those things do you think? For Carragher do not think he's one of the 3 greatest player of Liverpool's all time. And if he thinks he's not one of the 3 greatest player for Liverpool all time, definitely he thinks that he's not one of the 3 in the Premier League of all time. You can share your opinion. We also spoke about Rooney, who thinks that Neymar is not one of the top players in world football. And Rio Ferdinand disagrees with him. Rio Ferdinand thinks that Neymar is in his prime, is even better than Wayne Rooney. Do you think Neymar is better than Wayne Rooney? Or you are the one that also think like with Rooney, that you think Neymar is not one of the best player one of the best player in football in the world in his prime. Share your own opinion. 0913 655 6952. 0913 655 6952. WhatsApp is 0913 655 6864. Sturaro, do you think Kwara United can escape relegation? Let's pick this call first. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good evening, Kayode from Amsterdam area.
Kayode from Amsterdam. Good evening to you. Quickly, Kayode, share your opinion.
I'm an Arsenal fan.
Okay, it's good.
I want to talk about the Arsenal.
Talk about the Arsenal.
People think that Arsenal cannot win the Premier League. Previous season, if you see the squad of Arsenal fans, there's no depth on their bench there. But now, they have various of stars on their bench. And there's no way they will not win the Premier League. Because the Carabao Cup they lost, that's why we give them the morale. Focus on the Premier League. And there's nothing that can take that Premier League away from them. On Kwara United, I don't know what we are going to do. It's only God that can save Kwara United from relegation.
Thank you very much.
They are not playing on their home, they are playing away. So we can't call it home because it's away. So how to escape relegation, I don't know. Only God who can save them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your opinion. 0913 655 6952. That's the number to call. Quickly, Sturaro, let's get your opinion on the Kwara United. You think they can escape relegation?
Well, I do not like to be a devil's advocate, but I'm not so confident in Kwara United again. Because of course I look at the fixtures remaining and I feel we do not have that quality. I'm sorry to take it over the line. I'm very sorry, but then you never know. It's all about the passion at the business end of the season. You never know what the guys have in mind. You never know what they want to do. But then,
so quickly, if things that Kwara United cannot make it at the end of the day, for me, it's not even about the fixtures remaining. My own is the teams they are competing against. That's why I think it's going to be very. It is going to be very. I think Remo will relegate at the end of the day. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. Nii from Taiwo Road says, "Good evening, guys in the studio. I'm sick and tired of some biased analysts who never see Arsenal positivity, but would cover their club under the radar because of their bad forms, and we only choose to seriously show their bad belly only on progressive Arsenal team. Arsenal will definitely win the EPL, so it is not negotiable. Up Arteta, up Arsenal." Nii from Taiwo Road. Thank you very much, Nii, for your opinion. And thank you very much, my guys, for joining me on today's edition of the show. Don't forget, guys, keep listening to your Shining Supreme radio station. And always remember, enjoy your weekend. Goodbye.